Today's game is FC United versus Gainsborough. Added some games to my games being to list on the train to Chester. Had some time in Chester, so I had a drink in the town crier and added some stuff to eBay and Vinted. On the bus got me thinking about bus passes in the UK. You have individual ones for the individual countries, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, England, but you don't have a UK-wide one. Now, we all live in the UK, but we can't travel around the UK as UK citizens on a bus pass. We can only go within our own country of residence. It seems a little unfair in my view, so I thought I'd tweet and see if there is any way around this. I don't think there probably is, but I like to be annoying, so I decided to tweet, and it's a good chance to highlight which is really a stupid issue and could really be resolved. On arriving in Moston, I had a drink in the Bluebell as I had about 50 minutes before the game. I took this opportunity to book my Bucharest flight for the coming couple of weeks when I'm going to see United out there. I've kind of been putting it off for a while because I would like to put things as late as possible so I can get as many games in and around as I can, taking a bit of a risk with this one, with going on the day of the game so late. I'm only going to arrive about 4 hours before kick-off, but United reserves play the evening before, which I wanted to go to, so that's the only way I could do it. Still need to book a flight back, but I'm still waiting on what's going to be happening on that Friday to make a decision on that one. But I'm happy to wait, and I'd rather see the games that I want to see rather than book things early and then find out what the games are on and then be disappointed. So I still got it for a decent price. I paid £33 for that flight, so that was good, and the flights back looked to be under £50 as well, so that should be fine. I just need to book somewhere to stay there now as well. Back in Manchester city centre after the game, I went to the Piccadilly Tavern. I had a Coke rather than a cordial. I've got to be honest with you, I'm not doing very well with getting the cheaper cordials. They are as disgusting as I remembered. That one I had in the town crier this afternoon was absolutely vile. I'm not really sure I can deal with that. I think I'm just going to have to pay the little extra for the Cokes. While I was in the pub, I decided I had enough time to do some more travel booking. This time I booked some stuff for my trip to Breaking on Friday. It's quite a difficult trip as I want to come back to Manchester the following day, and there is rail strikes again this weekend on Avanti West Coast. So looking at getting back into Edinburgh to get back quickly on the Saturday. So I really need to get back from Brecon into Edinburgh that night so that I can give myself a head start on the trip home on the Saturday, or the trip back to Manchester, should I say, really. So what I did is I looked around, and it does seem to be, if you look on Google Maps, it's great for bus times and stuff. So I did the planner on there, and I found there is a bus that leaves just after midnight now, with it being a cup game on Friday night at Brechin. Don't really know what time it's going to be finished, so you really need to widen your scope, really. So there's a bus there just after midnight, takes a couple of hours, gets you back to Edinburgh. So I booked that, and I booked into the hostel by Haymarket Station. That was just £11 for the bus, and also £11 for the hostel as well, so I can get myself a couple of hours sleep before heading the rest of the way back down to Northern England, to Manchester, to watch the game on Saturday before heading home. So I just need to book some trains now back into, and find a way of getting up to Brechin from Edinburgh, and I'll have to go into Edinburgh now before I go up to Brechin to check into the hostel, obviously, because it won't be possible to book in at 2 o'clock in the morning. So that'll be a job for tomorrow. Early, so I took an opportunity whilst it sat in the station and I still had a bit of signal to tweet Manchester City Council. At the bottom of the ramp on the train station, there are a number of paving flags that are very, very wobbly and are very dangerous to people like myself, partially sighted and blind. Well, partially sighted and blind. They are really dangerous and could make anybody trip, never mind a partially sighted and blind person. And they've been like this for a couple of weeks now, and it's beginning to annoy me, to be honest. I think something needs to be done about it, so I decided that I would use this little bit of time to tweet out to them, and if I get a response, I'll let you know. I also did some video editing on the train back to Chester. The trip back to Chester was fairly unpleasant, as you can see my tweet back to Transport for Wales there. I'm just pretty sick of people that don't use headphones on trains. It's really annoying. I don't want to listen to what you're listening to, so I decided to answer again, maybe about some signs, as I was kind of fobbed off last time about tell the conductor. Well, on this trip I didn't even see a conductor, so would it be so hard for them to stick a couple of signs by the chairs, really? Well, that's it for this trip. An Uber home from Chester, as at this time of night there are no trains or buses back to Wrexham. A little bit cheaper tonight than it has been the last couple of nights, but not down to its regular price, so I don't know what's going on there. It's definitely about a £5 or more at the moment. I listened to the game tonight again on FC United Radio, as again I have said before, and I'll say again, that it is a fantastic service for a club at that level, and it is great to help with seeing the game, especially tonight as it was foggy. It was really useful, more useful than normal. I was quite productive in the taxi on the way home. I booked my hostel in Bucharest. That was only £7, so that's great. I also booked the bus up to Brechin on Friday. Again, that was £11. So that's me sorted for that. Just the trains to book for that now. I was also able to add a couple of things to Vinted and eBay. So that's it for this trip, as I say. £49 in total. So a good trip, really, and nice and cheap evening.